If you are the type of woman who has done everything right and you're still exhausted, this video is for you. So, if you've gone to therapy, you've read all the self-help books, you've learned to regulate your nervous system, you take accountability for your life and done so much inner work, but you're still not experiencing the level of love, the ease, the money, the overflow that you thought would come by now, keep listening. The type of woman that is in this position of life tends to be high functioning, responsible, self-aware, emotionally literate, the one that people rely on. You communicate well, you take ownership, you work on yourself, you don't blame, and yet you still feel like you carry everything. You're not chaotic, you're overfunctioning. Why does this matter? Overfunctioning is when you are consistently and constantly managing other people's emotions. You anticipate problems before they happen. You do all of the emotional labor at work, at home, in all of your relationships. And you tend to optimize even your healing. It's like the words don't want to come out because this is something that I personally have wrestled with. It looks like strength. It looks like you're the strong one, you're the capable one, you're the one who gets things done. And it can feel a bit frustrating and can lead to burnout when that doesn't translate into you having the success that you want, which is like everything looks great on paper, but it doesn't translate to feeling like you have everything that you want. It doesn't feel like you thought it would feel once you receive the things. And you know that there's a next level, but you haven't been able to break through to that yet. The problem, what is actually happening, is you're chronically bracing. You're chronically holding yourself back from receiving at the level that you're actually meant to be. Oftentimes, these women come to me because you think that you haven't healed enough, or there's, you might not say this, but think that there is something wrong with you. Like you're missing something. There's something. And I remember when I was in this space where it was just like, I could feel that there was something, I don't want to say wrong, but there was just something that I couldn't see, and you can't tangibly put words to it or feel it or sense it. You just know that there is something going on under the surface, and you can't see it because the way that you're operating has served you and actually looks productive and helpful on paper or to the outside world, but your inner world is not in alignment with what you actually want. And it's because you've built your life on over responsibility. And this is a survival mechanism, a coping mechanism. It is not actually sustainable long term. And it's like, I say that, it's like, well, I mean, it is sustainable because you make it sustainable, but it is not sustainable in that you will be burnt out. You will reach a point where you just are at the ceiling, you're at the capacity. So being the strong one, being the safe one, being the reliable one, being the self-aware one, and never setting that down is harmful. That identity or these identities will help you survive or have helped you survive, but it is now the ceiling. It's like you have to break that shell. Over functioning, being this version of yourself is your way of controlling the situation, of managing relationships, of controlling the outcome. And the next level requires you to set that down and to start to allow. When you're in this space of being the capable one, it fucking sucks. It sucks to be like, oh, I have to allow. Like, what do you mean I have to allow? Don't love that. I don't want that, right? That is how you know that that is the next step of your growth. And this shows up in healing and manifestation and growth and love and relationships and money, all areas of your life. Because when you're trying to control the outcome, it works. I'm not going to tell you it doesn't work. It does work. But if you're watching this video, you're probably at a stage where it stops working, right? Or it doesn't work for the next level because you're trying to earn safety, you're trying to earn love, you're trying to earn support, you're trying to earn ease, and it is exhausting. Here's the thing, you're not meant to earn support, earn ease, earn love. But the next level, the next version of you receiving is you learning to lean back and receive for the sake of receiving, not because you're worthy or not because you've done enough work or not because you've said the right thing. Oh, this comes up in love so much where it's like clients are like, what should I say? But what do I say here? What if I said the wrong thing? And it's like you like I just want to be like, stop it, right? Like stop it. It's not about that. It's about you learning to receive regardless of if you've earned it, if you've done enough or worked hard enough or proven yourself or become lovable enough. It's not those things. It's like learning to shift into the identity of somebody that already has those things. And when you are constantly trying to earn, you are reinforcing the belief and the identity of not having or not having enough. And that also plays into limiting your success in the next level. And it's fucking exhausting. It is truly so exhausting. And you don't realize how exhausting it is until you learn to take a step back and you're like, oh shit, I didn't realize that I was completely burnt out, that I was completely dysregulated in moments where I thought that I was regulated. The next level of your life does not require more effort, it requires less control. Receiving in the next level requires less. It requires less effort. It requires less control. It requires less optimization or productivity. It requires you to do less in all the ways. If you are not consciously doing this, it can be destabilizing. It can feel destabilizing. It can feel dysregulating. And so learning to hold yourself through this shift is imperative. So what does this actually mean? What does this actually look like? Letting someone else drop the ball sometimes. Oh, woof. Don't love that. Not managing everyone else's emotional state. Again, if you are somebody that has done this, not doing that can feel scary. It can feel unsafe. So this is where like inner child healing, inner child work can be super helpful because there is a reason why you're doing these things, right? Not solving every dynamic, letting people fail. And I see this a lot with mothers, especially mothers who have older children, where we just want to keep them safe and keep them from making mistakes. And part of this is learning to allow people to make mistakes. Okay, so the way that I view this is I fully trust and believe that if I need to step in or I need to prevent something bad from happening, I will be guided to do so. I will know, right? And so it's like learning to release control a bit because I trust myself. And this is where the self-trust piece comes in, allowing people to fail, knowing that I can handle it on the other side. Because mostly what it is it's not necessarily about the person failing or not meeting whatever their goal is. It's about how I think that that's going to make me feel, right? And so it's like knowing and trusting that the future version of you can handle whatever comes up, that you don't have to prepare, you don't have to control or manage all of the future versions of yourself. Like you can just allow it to happen, which is a skill and it takes practice. Not constantly optimizing your own growth. Oftentimes, what will happen is you will learn to celebrate yourself and your growth and not make it mean something about your worth or anything else. It is simply, oh my God, I did this thing differently today than I would have done a year ago. Having the celebrations, because that too grows your self-trust and your belief in yourself and not needing to like constantly be pushing and growing because it just will start to unfold naturally. This also means tolerating. Oh, I don't love this one. This one took me a lot of work. but learning to tolerate being misunderstood. It means tolerating not being the strong one. When you have built your identity around being the strong one, the one that gets things done, being the responsible one, being the most regulated person in the room. And it's like they're saying, it's like you strip it away, but you're not actually stripping it away. You're like letting go of the reins and allowing yourself to be perceived as not necessarily the strong one, the capable one. I'm telling you, it frees you. It frees you because then other people are able to rise to their capabilities. It's just like this proving energy. I get that this is terrifying because your identity has been built on being that person. When you learn to soften into this, when you learn to receive from a more relaxed state, your capacity expands to have so much more. And that is the goal. That is what we want to happen. And I promise you, it is so much better on this side than it is being in the identity of the one that holds it all together. And it's not that you're not doing that anymore. It's not that you're not still capable and still strong and still all of these things. It is you don't make your worthiness depend on you performing. Because here's the thing, you are not burnt out from your growth. You are burnt out from never putting down the role, the performance of being what you think everybody else needs you to be. You don't need another tool. You need capacity to receive without having to prove yourself, without having to earn. And here's the thing, you need to practice not bracing. And this is such a subtle shift. And once you notice that you're doing this, you're like, fuck, no wonder I'm not receiving because I'm bracing. I've used this metaphor forever. I love it. It's like you have a hose that, is hooked up to the water and you turn it on and it's flowing, but bracing is like putting a kink in it so that the water can only flow a little bit. When we brace, when we tighten, when we are proving and all of this, it slows down the flow of everything that is meant to come to you because you have no capacity to receive at that level. Here's what I'll leave you with. Start experimenting with what happens if I'm not the one holding this together. That will create some expansion because your beliefs around this will tell you everything that you need to know about where you're holding yourself back. So here's the thing, you are not behind, you are not broken, and you don't need more healing. You don't need more mindset work. You don't need to read 10 more self-help books. You need a new relationship with responsibility, and that begins by letting yourself stop performing strength. I would love to hear any questions you have in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.